This is Nick.
This is Jack.
It's Tuesday, T-Boy Tuesday, November 25th. And today's pod is the best one yet. This is a T-Boy.
The top 3 pop business news stories you need to know today.
Besties, if you haven't seen it yet, we just dropped our annual T-Boy holiday gift. What do we got, Jack?
And this year, it's a Yeti plush stuffed doll for the Yetis.
I got one right here. We call it an economic support animal. I'm hugging it. It's highly huggable, I gotta point out. You can squeeze this thing if your stocks drop or your portfolio falls.
So go buy yours now before we run out at tboypod.com/shop. We dropped a link in the episode description.
It's like a Labubu dupe. It is beautiful. It is such a great gift. But Jack, we got 3 fantastic stories for today's T-Boy. What do we got on the show?
For our first story, there's a more than 50% chance that cannabis is coming to your Thanksgiving dinner this year.
Because Thanksgiving Eve is now the number 2 sales day of the year for legal weed. And Jack and I will tell you how Green Wednesday came to be.
For our second story, Wicked Part 2 just dominated the box office with a $150 million haul.
But the real story that Jack and I found, it's the rise of the PG economy.
And our third and final story, Warren Buffett recently published his very last Thanksgiving letter as the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway.
So we ripped open the envelope and we'll tell you what's inside.
But Yetis, before we hit that wonderful mix of stories.
Whoa, what a mix of stories. I'm still hugging this little Yeti doll, Jack. I can't let go of this guy. I love him.
Last week, we were at NASDAQ's headquarters. It's a stock exchange in New York City, notable for tech companies.
Times Square, IPOs, big billboards. It is the center of the business world.
But we got the chance to rub elbows with a bunch of big tech AI business leaders.
And since it's Thanksgiving week, we went around the conference room and we said what we're thankful for.
Jensen kicked it off. He said that NVIDIA is thankful for Sam Altman because ChatGPT buys so many chips.
Okay, but then Sam Altman said he's thankful for Jensen Huang because NVIDIA invested in ChatGPT.
But Jensen is also thankful for Satya Nadella because Microsoft gives office space to Sam Altman and OpenAI.
Okay, but Satya said Microsoft is thankful for Sam Altman for taking his investment money.
But then Sam Altman said he's thankful for Amazon, Microsoft, and Google for all their cloud computing.
Okay, but then Amazon, Microsoft, and Google said they're thankful for Zuck for buying all their cloud.
But then Apple said they're thankful for Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, NVIDIA, and ChatGPT.
But then Tim Cook didn't even say why he was thankful for all of them. We just went around the table.
Yeah, it is. The AI industry is looking like one big white elephant gift-giving party.
Every big tech company is up in each other's presence these days.
So they're all super thankful that together, as long as they're in this together, the AI bubble will not pop.
And honestly, we're all thankful for that too.
Yeah, I hope this kumbaya continues.
Keep it going, guys.
But besties, we do also love the tradition of going around the dinner table and each saying what they're thankful for.
All right, so Jack, why don't you kick it off for us on the show?
All right, I'll kick it off with the table stakes, the family, the friends, the health.
Oh, the good stuff, yeah.
But Nick, you're basically my 4th Kramer brother.
The meat and potatoes, thank you, Jack.
And, I tell you more than just about anyone in this world except Alex, my wife. You have some fantastic advice on the serious stuff, but you're best at the not serious stuff. Like when I randomly say the weird situation I found myself in this weekend, you'll have some hilarious comment to make. And man, it's just so much fun being around you, dude.
Because football players are soft guys. You need that extra attention, Jack.
No football player has ever been critiqued that their sport is soft until Nick did to me.
Okay, well, Jack, on like the T-Boy content side, I'm so thankful about how you're like just a defender of the credibility. You're always double, triple checking.
Yeah.
And honestly, at this point, we barely use ChatGPT for research because you found so many errors with it.
Dude, I'm a big information integrity guy. I demand the best for the besties and the Yetis.
Also, Yetis, he's got a memory. Jack can remember what takeaway we whipped up on 14th of December in 1983.
Encyclopedia Britannica's got nothing on me.
But also, Jack, we have just been through so much together running this company for over a decade, and we can just take on anything at this point. So I'm excited because next year we get to do this again together like we always do. It's amazing.
Me too, man. And of course, Nick and I are dearly thankful for you, the Yetis and the besties. Happy Thanksgiving. We are pumped to pod with you today.
Thank you. We are honored to get to do this with you every day. Oh, and tomorrow we're going to drop a special episode. It's our interview with Jim Cramer that we did at NASDAQ last week.
But as we head into Thanksgiving, let's hear our 3 best stories yet.
Because these are a total T-Boy.
15 years before this song, 2 boys from the Northeast met in the dorm. They had an idea that caused a cultural storm. It's the best one yet, but the best is the norm. Jack, Nick, that's it. I don't even think they need to practice. 50% 100%, that's a fat tip. T-Boy City on your list. If you know, you know, cause we ready to go. We can't wait no more, so just start the show. Start the show.
For our first story, on Thanksgiving, cannabis is replacing alcohol in many American homes, and it's led to a new holiday called Green Wednesday.
But this story finishes with a lesson that every entrepreneur should know this Thursday.
Oh, we're all feeling that stress, Jack. You got to pick it out. You got to wrap it. What are you going to do with it? The Thanksgiving host gift.
Wait a second. I'm not that stressed out about it. Should I be?
Are you hosting?
I am hosting.
Okay. Must be nice. Well, the default tends to be a bottle of wine these days, right?
But more Americans are trading out Cabernet for cannabis instead.
Get this. The day before Thanksgiving is actually the second biggest sales day of the year for legal cannabis.
Only 420 beats it.
Yeah, it's like the 420 of the fall. It's called Green Wednesday. Instead of Black Friday, you now have Green Wednesday.
Although I prefer Thanksgiving because sales are up 97% on Green Wednesday compared to a typical Wednesday.
That's right. The hot new host gift, if you still can't figure it out, is a box of Maui Wowie.
On Thanksgiving Eve, you're not hosting your high school reunion with buddies at the bar. You're hitting the local dispensary for a proper Thanksgiving celebration with your family.
Now that it's legal. Now, besties, this happens to fit nicely with the trend Jack and I have been covering for a few years now.
Less alcohol, more cannabis.
Or, as it's known in the Golden State, California sober.
California sober. When you go from beers to buds, from Pinot to pot, from Negronis to weed gummies.
Because if you look at the data here, the decreases in alcohol consumption are offset 1-to-1 by increases in cannabis consumption.
The graph looks like an X.
Yeah, there are a couple key reasons here. The first of which is that alcohol consumption is at its lowest level ever on health fears.
Remember that CDC study last year that tied alcohol to cancer?
Yeah, not pretty. The second reason is that weight loss drugs are at their highest level ever.
And nothing crushes your cocktail cravings like Ozempic. The third reason is Gen Z's just not into alcohol.
So legal cannabis has officially entered the alcohol chat.
You can have a gummy with your turkey and stuffing and avoid the hangover.
In fact, Bloomberg just did a survey from September that found that 51% of Americans now substitute cannabis for alcohol at least weekly.
I need to repeat that. In September, Bloomberg did a survey and found that a majority of us substitute cannabis for alcohol at least weekly. So instead of pounding a beer, you're smoking a joint.
But besties, the key reason why the California sober trend has led to this Green Wednesday surge?
It's Thanksgiving stress.
Yeah, the stress. Your uncle is triggered by your cousin, your sister wore a political pin, and your inner child is coming out at the Thanksgiving table.
With that kind of dinner table awkwardness, boomers, zoomers, they're all uniting over some relaxing edibles. Just chill, man. It's all good.
It's intergenerational. Grandma chilled out because she had a microdose. And one sec, Jack. Grandpa fell in the mashed potatoes. I don't think that's the tryptophan, man. I don't think it is. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies over in Green Wednesday, California sober, cannabisification?
The Thanksgiving dinner table can be your ultimate focus group.
Because, besties, Thanksgiving is the ultimate word of mouth moment. It's when ideas are shared and plans are hatched.
No holiday drives more referrals, sampling, or taste testing than Thanksgiving does.
Okay, think about it. Here's how Jack and I want you to picture this. People are traveling from all across the country to get to one specific place.
And then they have to sit for an intimate group dinner where they're forced to talk with each other.
And they are expected to bring a gift or share what they are thankful for.
Based on that description,
yes, Jack?
Thanksgiving is like one nationwide business convention with forced networking.
Yeah, it's a cross-pollination of ideas, mixing and mingling of the masses like no other time.
And that tradition of the Thanksgiving captive dinner table audience is why Green Wednesday has become such a big thing.
Your cousin Timmy brought it up last year. Now everyone's talking about it this year.
Green Wednesday, Green Wednesday, Green Wednesday.
So besties, if you want to drive sales for next year, your goal should be to become a topic at Thanksgiving dinner.
This year.
Figure out how to make it happen. For our second story, Wicked 2 was #1 at the box office on the same weekend that Toy Story celebrated its 30th anniversary.
The common thread? They're both rated PG, and they're both crushing it.
It's the PG economy. Full disclosure, by the way, we have not yet seen Wicked 2, so no spoiler concerns in today's business story.
Except for this one. Wicked 2 may not be a lock for the #1 box office movie of 2025.
Now, besties, The Witches did have a massive opening weekend just a few days ago.
$150 million in North America, $226 million globally.
Apparently, Elphaba just bought a broom made by Bugatti.
But Disney may steal its thunder, as Zootopia 2 debuts tomorrow in theaters.
So it's kind of shocking, but prediction markets think it's a toss-up for who will be the top-grossing movie of 2025.
Wicked 2, which had an epic opening weekend, Minecraft, which had an epic summer, or Zootopia 2, which might steal the whole holiday season.
But Jack, let's pause the pod for a second. Are you noticing a trend here, Yetis?
Wicked 2, Minecraft, and Zootopia 2.
Okay, no violence, no kissing, no four-letter words.
All three of those movies are PG.
But besties, this is a big deal because this will be a second year in a row, the first 2 times ever, that PG movies have taken the biggest share of the box office.
PG is at an all-time high. It's never been a more popular film genre. PG stands for profits guaranteed.
Jack, did you hear the hit song in Wicked 2 this time around?
What was it?
It goes like this. Exactly.
You got me.
But besties, here's what Jack and I find fascinating. The modern formula for kid-friendly blockbusters that parents love too, it was actually set 30 years ago.
Exactly 30 years ago. November 22nd, 1995. What movie hit the box office on that day?
Jack, only because I did the research with you, I'm going to say Toy Story, the first ever computer animated movie.
The first internet era movie.
Yeah, really, Toy Story was Pixar, created by George Lucas, acquired by Steve Jobs, and eventually Pixar was sold to Disney.
I read a whole book about Pixar. It's an unbelievable story if you want to read it.
And here's the key insight. Toy Story created a new formula.
They targeted parents and kids with animated movies. They entertained the kids, they cracked up the parents with jokes the kids didn't understand.
Then other studios like DreamWorks scaled that formula with movies like Shrek.
And then Zootopia, Inside Out, The Minions, and next summer, Toy Story 5.
So today we're now seeing a surge in PG films, partially because we've hit superhero saturation.
20-year-olds are bored of another Marvel movie.
But also from a financial perspective, there are benefits because a PG family is going to buy 3 to 5 tickets to a movie and then dress up to get really excited about it, maybe see it twice.
Which creates some buzz. Whereas a dink couple is going to go to an R-rated movie and just buy 2 tickets with no dress up.
So today, add it all up, and today, every movie theater wants at least 1 PG film every single weekend.
It's become the cornerstone strategy of all of Hollywood and all of cinema.
But Yetis, there's also a deeper reason why PG's share of the box office has nearly doubled since the 2010s. And the reason is our takeaway. So Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddies watching PG movies?
The parents need help, and PG movies are here to provide it.
Yetis, former Surgeon General Vivek Murthy published an op-ed last year called Parents Need Help.
A therapist recommended I listen to a podcast of the same title from the New York Times last year.
Yeah, I remember when you told me that, Jack. And both cite data that nearly half of millennial parents today feel overwhelmed on most days.
Now, there's the traditional pressures of parenting, like having enough money, keeping the kids safe, and getting enough sleep. But there's also modern pressures of parenting unique to this generation.
Like limiting screen time, mental health issues, and extra money stress of not being able to afford a mortgage despite both parents working 2 corporate jobs.
Parents needing help, from our experience, is a big reason that PG movies are winning right now.
Right, because PG movies are a place where you can both watch a screen guilt-free for 2 hours and just relax.
Your kid's not going to run away or hit anybody. And 2 movie tickets plus a box of popcorn is like half the price of a babysitter.
Plus, the content targets a 6-year-old and a 46-year-old to both laugh.
And have a bonding moment from a sequel that you remember watching the original as a kid.
So, besties, the reason Hollywood has become a PG economy and nearly doubled its share of the North American box office?
Because the parents need help. PG movies are here for it.
Hey Yetis, if you're a bestie, take a sec and hit that subscribe button.
And like this video while you're at it. If you leave a comment, by the way, we'll read it.
For our third and final story, Warren Buffett published his final Thanksgiving letter as CEO of Berkshire Hathaway.
There was patriotism, grace, and folksiness, but also a hidden endorsement of the next CEO.
And there's one key word he said 0 times. Now, Yetis, FDR did fireside chats. Kendrick Lamar did diss tracks.
Warren Buffett does Thanksgiving letters. And he just wrote his final one as the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway.
Warren Buffett, the CEO of the longest-lasting stock market winner, is retiring this year on 12/31, New Year's Eve.
So this year has been a farewell tour for the prophet of prophets.
And now, besties, dozens of you asked us to break down this very final letter of Warren, so Jack and I jumped in T-Boy style, and that's exactly what we did for you.
We read the whole thing. It was addressed to shareholders, but really, it talked at first about his children, who are 72, 70, and 67.
Yeah. Warren Buffett is a great-grandfather, in case you were curious.
He's 95 years old. And this final letter felt a bit like a public will and testament for his $160 billion fortune.
Because he opens it up by publicly sharing his money plans for when he passes away.
His kids are getting the estate.
By the way, he's owned the same house since 1958, so those kids may want to renovate it if they ever come across it.
And he's lived in that same house since 1958. Becoming a billionaire did not change where he lived.
But unlike most billionaires, Warren Buffett will not dictate where his $160 billion fortune will go.
It's up to his kids. And now that he's 95, he is self-aware about himself and his age.
Yes.
And he actually told boards to look out for signs of dementia and Alzheimer's in elderly executives like himself.
It was a surprising paragraph in the letter, but he said if CEOs and directors notice it in him or others, they should take action for the benefit of the company.
And Warren, being the legend that he is, this could set a precedent in the corporate community.
But Jack, enough about age. Come on, man. We got so much more in this letter.
You want to talk about the warm and fuzzy parts?
Oh, the rest of the letter, Jack? It felt like a Pepperidge Farm commercial. It was so warm and bubbly.
Well, Warren said the word luck or lucky 12 times. After all, this is a Thanksgiving letter.
He focused on Omaha, the location of that house that he's lived in for 67 years.
He expressed gratitude for the doctors in Omaha who have saved his life 3 separate times.
And he expressed gratitude for the schools in Omaha that raised 5 generations of Buffetts.
And he concluded that if Berkshire Hathaway was somewhere else besides Omaha, it wouldn't be as profitable or as large as it is today.
Yeah, like the bubbles of Silicon Valley or the fads of Wall Street. Maybe those would have become Warren Buffett's weaknesses if he lived in one of those places.
Instead, he preferred being in the geographic center of the United States, Nebraska.
Then, Warren went on to spend several pages writing about the character of people he'd grown up with and the people he'd worked with.
Yeah, for example, he's not a fan of greed.
Not a fan of greed.
Twice in this letter, he looked down at dynastic or look-at-me wealth and the people who try to attain it.
Not a Gucci guy.
He also glorified the golden rule, which I learned in kindergarten and still think, I agree with Warren, this is like the one rule.
The cleaning lady is as much as a human as the chairman is, as Warren Buffett just put it.
And his parting advice, choose your heroes very carefully and then emulate them. You'll never be perfect, but you can always be better.
Another quote we loved, it is never too late to improve. Get the right heroes and copy them. Kindness is costless, but also priceless.
Now that's what he did say.
Right.
It's also interesting what he did not say.
Yeah, Jack, he mentioned 0 trends, like no tech, no crypto, no 6-7. How many times did Warren Buffett mention AI in his final letter to shareholders?
0.
None.
And honestly, it was pretty refreshing not reading artificial intelligence.
Yeah, because every other CEO is contractually obligated to mention it 32 times. So, Jack, what's the takeaway for our buddy Warren Buffett on his final Thanksgiving letter?
He barely mentioned the new CEO, but the whole letter was about him.
Now, Yetis, I asked Jack GPT, which is my name for Jack. Just the human being Jack. But I asked Jack to summarize Warren Buffett's letter in 2 words, and Jack said, character matters.
Because Warren spent the first 2 pages talking about people with high moral integrity who he admired. He glorified hard work, curiosity, and dependability in this letter.
The real message here, character is what I care about most. And you can trust Greg-A, his hand-picked successor, to lead Berkshire Hathaway.
Warren's track record is insane. 20% average stock market gains for 60 years. That's twice as good as the S&P 500.
Jack, Warren's inheritor, this guy Greg-A, he must oversee a $300 billion stock portfolio, $300 billion in cash, and run 189 different companies.
To manage that empire and beat the stock market like Warren did, it takes more than brains, experience, and execution. And I don't think living in the same house for 60 years is going to help Greg either.
It takes character. And that's what Warren's last CEO letter was really all about. Jack, could you whip up the takeaways for us for T-Boy Tuesday?
Green Wednesday. Tomorrow is the second biggest cannabis sales day of the year.
Why has it become so big? Well, because the Thanksgiving table is the ultimate marketing focus group.
For our second story, Wicked 2 is battling it out with 2 other PG movies for the top box office movie of 2025.
Because we're in the PG economy. The parents need help, and PG movies are here to provide it.
And our third and final story, Warren Buffett's last Thanksgiving letter to shareholders were graceful final words for this CEO.
It was all about character, a meat and potatoes subtle endorsement of Greg Abel, his Berkshire Hathaway successor.
But besties, this pod's not over yet. Here's what else you need to know today.
Well, first, tech stocks actually have a lot to be thankful for. Google continued soaring, and it's carrying the entire market on its back this week.
The NASDAQ jumped nearly 3% on Monday, but Google jumped 6%.
Last week, we said that OpenAI was trying to become Google, but Google already is Google.
Well, Jim Cramer quoted that takeaway on CNBC, and Google stock is up 12% since he did.
Yeah, we're pretty pumped about that. And second, turkey prices actually came down this year. Yeah, turkey got deflated.
The surprise reason is that the price of the food that turkeys eat went down this year.
Apparently, corn and soybeans had their biggest crop harvest ever, and China wasn't buying them, so we had a lot of food to give our turkeys, and we made a lot of turkeys, yeah.
So turkey food was cheaper than ever, which means turkey, the food, is cheaper too. It's down 14% compared to last year.
And finally, Charmin just released its first ever toilet paper specifically engineered for Thanksgiving because it's huge.
Yeah, a little bit of potty humor to finish the show.
1,700 sheets of toilet paper. That is 32 times more than the standard roll. It's like 20 trees in this thing.
It's as long as the Washington Monument when fully rolled out. And it does require a special holder.
This is once again proof that just when you think you've fully innovated any product, apparently there's just a little more innovation you can squeeze out of that thing, Jack.
It's Texas-sized.
Now time for the best fact yet. This one sent in by legendary Yeti Savannah Westwood from lovely Orlando, Florida.
Year in and year out, the only non-political, non-sports thing that's in the list of most watched things on TV is the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
It just crushes the ratings every year. But did you know the original Thanksgiving Day Parade by Macy's actually used live animals from the Central Park Zoo?
Yeah, Alex the lion, Marty the zebra, and Melman the giraffe. They were all in the parade.
It wasn't until giant helium balloons were introduced in 1927 that the zoo stopped giving lions and tigers and bears to the parade.
It's safer with balloons, too.
Jack, my mom actually discovered this when she was a balloon handler one year.
That's the coolest thing your mom has on her resume.
We always thought it'd be fun, though, if they had, like, the balloons and then told her, like, Mom, what if there was a real lion behind you, moving you down, keeping you moving down Central Park West?
How many adults are there per balloon?
Enough just to barely keep those things down, Jack. Yetis, you look fantastic 2 days before Thanksgiving, and Jack and I whipped up a special treat for you tomorrow.
Our interview with Jim Cramer. Nick and I share our favorite stock picks with the most legendary stock picker of all time.
So many interviews, but this was the wildest interview we've ever done.
And Jim also loudly says what stocks not to buy, and he almost shook the camera.
Actually, I would say the camera was shaking the entire time, Jack.
So enjoy your Thanksgiving long weekend. We're going to have our interview with Jim Cramer at the top of the feed for the whole weekend.
And then we'll see you back for our usual daily show the following Monday. Can't wait. And before we go, a happy birthday to Yeti Amy Anstitt, turning 65 years old down in Birmingham, Michigan.
Happy birthday to Jeff Thomas in Princeton, Texas.
And Amy's got the best birthday yet in Rochester Hills, Michigan.
Happy birthday to Devin McLaughlin, turning 31 on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, New York City.
And Luca Tang is celebrating their second birthday over in Vegas.
Happy birthday to Malcolm Stewart, turning 30 in Charlottesville, Virginia.
And Mary Ziomek in Oceanside, California's got the best birthday yet. Congratulations, Mary.
Happy 35th birthday to Will Oberender in Edina, Minnesota.
And Jack, we got an 8-year anniversary to Kyle Ravello and Shally Wynn in Oakland, California. Congrats, guys.
And happy anniversary to Christy and Tim Brown in Avon, Ohio.
And Allie Sinclair in Honolulu, Hawaii just passed the SIE exam and has got a new job. Feeling fantastic.
And to anyone else who's celebrating something today, make it a T-boy.
Celebrate the wins.
And Will Oberender, if it's Edina, Minnesota, my apologies. This is Jack. I own stock of Disney and Berkshire Hathaway, and Nick and I both own stock of Apple and ETFs of the S&P 500.